Here I am. Hey there, Grateful Gang. Welcome to Gratefully Living the Chronic Life. I come to you every Thursday, not usually wearing sunglasses, but there is a reason why I'm wearing these. I come to you every Thursday at this time to bring you expert guests, authors, doctors, thinkers, friends who have something of value to offer us in gratefully living our chronic life. And when I say chronic with pain, while I live with chronic pain and I run a community on Facebook called Attitude of Gratitude with chronic pain. I use pain sort of in air quotes because I believe that we all have struggles and pain can be emotional, physical, spiritual, financial. So everything that I bring you each week and my amazing guests that come on the show will hopefully give you food for thought and something to bring with you as you go through the week. So thank you for being here. If it is your first time, welcome. Those of you who are watching live, we are an interactive broadcast. So we air live on Facebook inside my group, my private group, also on my public page, my website, my YouTube channel. It's streaming various places. And I encourage everybody who's watching live, if you have any questions, comments, thoughts, please put it in the comments and I will try to get your comments on the screen. I really love having an interactive broadcast and my guests love it as well. So my glasses are due to the fact that I have a returning guest who has become a very good friend of mine. Sharon Saraga Walters is our guest tonight, and she is the author of a few books, including this new one, which we are giving away tonight, Graticize 365, 4 Steps to Exercising Gratitude Daily. And she's also the creator of these amazing gratitude sunglasses, which are available on her website, graticize365.com and Amazon. So I have been giving these away. For those of you who are subscribers to my YouTube channel, you will see that I have been quite busy lately. And the last couple of weeks, especially, I have had the privilege of meeting some fellow gratitude spreaders in person, which is absolutely just such a blessing because I meet so many people through this work that I do with gratitude and chronic pain and illness, and they're all over the world. And yet, 2 of my contacts from the UK, I have had the chance to meet in person within the last 2 months. So the one I met yesterday is Dr. Farhana Sadek. She was on the show back in the fall, and she has an app called the Gratitude app. We are also working on launching a podcast together. So she's here visiting from the UK in New York City. And I met with her over lunch yesterday, and she got a pair of these nifty shades, as did Dr. Gurmish Bishaw. Those of you who watched his episode, he runs the Gratitude Initiative also in the UK. He happened to be in New York City a few months ago, so he got a pair of these. And then last week, I met the gratitude psychologist, Dr. Peggy Doherty, and she has a pair of these as well. So I bought these. I bought many of them from Sharon a few months ago, and I was just telling her backstage, I am almost out. And many people from my group have been ordering them too. They're lovely sunglasses. So before I bring Sharon on, and she's going to wear her glasses at some point too, next week, next Thursday, my guest will be author Andrea Hansen. She has a podcast that I was on a few months ago, although I don't think it has aired yet. But she's written this book called Live Your Life, Not Your Diagnosis. It's a wonderful, wonderful book, and she's a really special person. So join me next Thursday at this time for that episode. You guys are going to love her. She's got a lot of great stuff to share. So I was telling Sharon, my guest tonight, that I mentioned we've become quite friendly since I first met her. And I met her the old-fashioned way that I meet all of my guests. I stalked her. I found her on LinkedIn, I think, and she was on my show, and I couldn't wait to have her back on because she's about as true blue and authentic as you can get. And many mornings, probably at least 3 mornings a week, I wake up at around 5 in the morning, and my first message is from her with a very kind and genuine gratitude message, just letting me know she's thinking of me. So it is a privilege to have her back on the show. Hey, Sharon.
Hi, Lauren. Thank you.
Thank you for being back here.
Oh, I'm loving it. All right, should I put them on? I'll put them on for a
Yeah.
moment. Yes, we can. That's cool.
You are quite famous in Attitude of Gratitude with Chronic Pain. These are a hot
Mm.
ticket item. You are selling a lot of them, and not even just in my group, but throughout your community. These are really sought after gratitude glasses.
Well, thank you. I mean, they've got the greatest message, but thank you because you really have, reached out to people that I had never met, and just that are all so many that have such an impact and gratitude, and going to UK and everywhere else. So I can't thank you enough for all that you're doing with it too,
Oh, it's
and
a
just being a
pleasure.
friend. Really, truly a gift.
I know you and I we talk about this all the time, that being in this, I don't want to say business, it's hardly a business, but in this work with gratitude, and our circle just keeps expanding, doesn't it? In such a beautiful and organic way. And people that I'm meeting, and people I know you're meeting, and we just kind of share that shared same message of wanting people to know that gratitude isn't just a hot buzzword, but a real live. In fact, you say it in your new book. It's a real tangible thing that you can actually measure and feel, right? So it's absolutely my pleasure to share these, but
Mhm.
believe me, people are excited to get them.
Thank you.
How did you come up with the idea to do those? I'm not sure if I even know
Oh,
the
the glasses?
Yeah, yeah.
I had it for, oh my gosh, the past 10 years, and I wish I had the pair I used to use. I used to have a pair of glasses, just regular sunglasses, and I put this sticker on one lens. It said gratitude, on the other said glasses. So it's been a
Okay.
dream of mine, and I just wanted it. And this year I knew exactly what I wanted. The clear. I wanted that from the get-go. Was the clear, and I wanted this, so that's like, really know what you want and watch it happen, because I wanted the clear. I wanted the exactly the glass, it's saying it on the side in black.
Yeah.
So, and it came really easily. All that. The time was now and ready to happen for
I,
sure.
I was mentioning Dr. Farhana Sadek and Gurma Bishal. I completely forgot that another privilege I had was 3 days ago. I met who I've met before in person, but my right hand woman, Linda Edwards, who is the senior moderator in the group, and she had purchased a pair, so we had a picture taken together, which is, I was telling you before the show, that picture is really special to me. But everybody comments on the great quality that these are.
Mm.
They're really just heavy, and they feel very nice. They're not, you can throw it in your backpack and they're not going to break. They're really, really nice. So you guys can find these on Amazon, but also on Sharon's website, which I will put up, I'm sure, many, many times tonight, gratisize365.com. And I like to say, looking at life through the lens of gratitude is a great way to look at life. So they're quite symbolic too.
Changing the vision of the world with gratitude.
Yeah, really, seriously. So if you guys have the gratitude glasses, please feel free to weigh in and let us know what you think about them. Hi, Facebook user. Hello. Thank you for joining us. Speak of the devil, there's Linda. Hey, Linda.
Hi, Linda.
Amazing meeting with you this week, my friend. We had met once before in person. We're both in New Jersey, but different sides of the state. So it was really just a privilege, and neither one of us wanted it to end. It was really special. Hi, Heidi. Yes, we can see your picture and your name. Glad you asked that, because Sharon has graciously agreed to give away a free copy of her book, and it will go to anybody watching live tonight. All you need to do to win is type in the comments #gratitude. And at the end of the episode, we will give away a copy. We're going to talk more about this book. As you can see, this is not your what are you grateful for at the top of the page and blank lines at the end. This is a really beautiful, substantial book. So if you'd like to win, just anytime tonight in the comments, #gratitude. And if you are watching from inside the group, make sure you are signed in and grant StreamYard your permission. Hey, look, it's Julie Boyer. Hey,
Oh,
Julie.
wow.
Nice
Hi,
to see
Julie.
you. She's on a social media sabbatical. Love you, ladies. Great to see you laughing and smiling together.
We miss you. It's good to hear from her.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Christine Malloy. Hi, Christine. Just
Hi,
announced
Christine.
about an hour ago. Christine is our newest moderator in AOG. So, Christine, thank you for accepting and for offering your service to the group. It's really special. People that live with chronic pain and illness, our energy is quite precious. So, whenever somebody like Christine is so willing to give of their time, it's really special. So, thank you, Christine, for agreeing to come on board. Um, so let's talk about your book. I think this maybe was just about to come out the last time we
Yeah, I think
talked.
it had either just come out or within a week it was going to be coming out. Yes.
Yeah. So, like I just sort of hinted at, this many gratitude journals, and all gratitude journals are wonderful. Many of them that you find, they kind of just say, "What are you grateful for?" at the top, and they give you blank space to fill in. As you guys can see, this is not that journal. This journal focuses on what you refer to as the 4 steps of
Yeah.
gratitude, right?
Yes. Yeah. Thank you so much for showing it and sharing about that, having us share a little bit about the book because, my background is in fitness and so my two loves and superpowers, I call them, are fitness and exercise and gratitude. So I combine those two. And in the book, the 4 steps, I use fitness terms. So the first step is the wake up. The second step is the warm up. The third step is the workout. And the fourth step is the cool down. And in the book, I explained to you about my experiences, like for instance, the wake up. So in the wake up, I had different scenarios that I could relate to, and maybe you all can too. There's some mornings. Well, most of the time, I never even woke up even thinking about anything. I just got up out of bed, and that was it. That pretty much was my life. Really, it has been, used to be. And then, so there were some times where if I had something planned to do, oh my gosh, I'd jump out of bed and just I'd be aware of it and awake and happy and all that. And then there's some days where I just wanted to put the blanket over my head. I didn't want to acknowledge it or anything. And so I felt like it was really important to have the wake up, to really be intentional about how you're feeling and not judging it. Just sharing the wake up and how you're feeling. It's just really freeing and important to see that. And not all mornings you're going to feel bad. And you just kind of you gauge it. And I give some choices in there about the wake up. For me, mostly a lot of times, so I will usually first thing off, I breathe and then say a prayer. And then I might do a few gratitudes and one that I do, and I never realized how often I do it, but at some point after I wake up, I just start visualizing because my mind starts to go. So I just gently start to visualize my day, but the way I want it to go. That's how I visualize my day. Not like, oh my God, what do I have to do? But what do I want and how do I want this day to look?
So
So
sort
that's
of
kind of
like an
like how I
intention in a way.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
but
like
it's, and it's kind of like, you've got your journal. I just thought about like the intentional part. This is really intentional about in each stage of our day of how we do that to be intentional with it. And as you remember on the show when I was on last time that we did, the other one is of course where I would hug myself or I'd hug somebody else in my family or friends. So that's part of
Yes.
the wake up as well. Yeah.
That if you guys didn't catch Sharon's last episode, we talked about that in there, and that was a really powerful and eye-opening tip that many of us have incorporated into our lives
Mhm.
since you're back on the show.
Yeah.
Um, in fact, we have a Friday gratitude circle on Zoom through the group, and we give ourselves a
I love
gentle
it. Love
hug
it.
after that. It's very there's something about that
I'll
touching
give us
yourself.
remember let's get another one. I remember we had this one time and I loved it. We both just naturally did that on the show last time. I love it.
Yeah, you're right, we did. There's something so, um, I don't know, tender and intimate about touching yourself, and, a lot of people, when you meditate, you put your hand over your heart, but it may seem silly to some of you, but try it.
Mhm.
Try it and take a deep breath and see what happens. It's a really beautiful, trick that you gifted us with last time. I like what you said about not judging the way you're feeling when you wake up in the morning,
Mhm.
because many of us in general, but especially living with a chronic pain condition, it can be difficult not to judge how we're feeling, because that's what we do. We judge, oh, ooh, ah. Um, so having this, the wake up before you get out of bed, and you have things like you've got check marks, deep breaths, check all the wake up actions that you did today before you get out of bed. Deep breaths, say gratitudes to myself, hug myself, visualize my day, say a prayer for the day or other. Those are really, they're simple and they're very doable.
Mhm.
And then you've got, you know, mantras and suggestions, different ones at the top of all
Yeah,
365
it's actually a gratitude exercise. That's the gratitude exercise at the top. There's a new one. There's 365 of them.
Yeah,
Every day
like
is a new one.
day 162, reach out to someone by phone and let them know how much you care for and appreciate them.
Mhm.
That's beautiful, beautiful. You really put so much work into this beautiful book.
Well,
Um,
thank you. Yeah, and so and if I may go through quickly the others, just and I
yes,
like you sharing as well with that. And so the next one is the warm up. So a gratitude, a morning routine. What do we do instead of just letting the morning go? How can we do something, create something with it? And there, I say either meditation. I mean, you've got so many of them that you offer here, with the group. I do something called Reiki. It's energy work. I don't know if some of you maybe know that as well. Sometimes I'll do that. I'll catch a quick a video or a YouTube. I'll do maybe look at a podcast. And I don't know about you, but okay, I use social media for positive for the good. So I am on social media. That really is very much a part of my morning routine, and it works for me because it really does lift me up because everything I do is around gratitude and positivity. So that's a big part of it, and I do my gratitudes, and so that has become an absolute routine for me. It can change, and that's what I say. Change it up when you want to. Don't stick to one thing because there's always going to be new things that will come available for you.
right.
And
I
so
think
it's
that's so important
yeah.
because we can get in a gratitude rut. And I think I've actually talked to Julie Boyer about this in the past, that we can get in a gratitude rut. And then if we're just doing it kind of as a knee-jerk reaction, we're not really getting the power out of it,
Mhm.
mixing it up, doing different, practicing gratitude in different ways is really helpful for me at least.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and so, that morning thing, whatever that is. So you can already see that here, if you're got the intentionalness around however that is around the wake up, and then the morning, already you're off to a pretty good start. I mean, more so than just getting out of bed and not even thinking about it, which is what
Mhm.
I used to do all the time. I would walk around clueless, not awake, and just doing that.
Right.
Um, but then, so the third one is the workout, and this one has really I didn't realize the power this was going to have over me. So what I found is that as you do the morning routine, by the afternoon you're kind of like you kind of go your own route. You forget about really focusing on gratitude, or at least I did, and
Yeah.
that was even after writing the books. I kind of didn't focus on it. So really focusing on I say in the book, I say, stop and give me 3 grata reps, which are gratitude repetitions using the fitness, the workout words. So that, was really something really great to do that. And what I have found is that, oh, in the workout and doing that, it's something that maybe you notice some action you've taken, something you received, or something you celebrate. So those are the 4 areas that and you may get a couple of those in one of your things that you have gratitude around. So like for instance, I wanted to share today because I don't just so you get kind of an idea. So for me, it was working out this afternoon. I don't always go to the gym, but it was raining here, so I did, and it was a great thing to do. And so taking the things that it takes time, but I'm the intentional noticing of so many gratitudes. As crazy as this sounds, but even when I was at the gym, all the paper towel dispensers, they were all empty. And in today's day, we all sanitize our machines and everything. So nobody had told the manager, a good guy, a good friend of mine. So I went up to him. I said, "Hey, when you get a chance, all the dispensers are empty." And I felt so good about that. I said it
Yeah,
very kind, but it was like he needed to know because in these times, this is a big gym and no one could use the dispensers and nobody was saying anything. So just taking a notice of something as simple as that, I celebrated that. I was proud of myself to just do that and come in a really kind way.
that's
So
such a good example. That's such a good example because it's those tiny things that don't seem like a big deal that
Mhm.
can really add up, and something like that, you feel good. I'm sure they really appreciated being told that they were empty, and you feel like you did a little service for the day. That's such a good example.
Exactly, and we'll be surprised at how we just have let this always slide by, and we don't write about it, we don't think about it and give ourselves credit and acknowledgement for it. So
Right.
that's what is just so amazing that has come from that. But the other one I wanted to share, and you and I talked about this, was one that had never come to me, is that my mother. So what I've been doing with her, we just started this a month ago. It came to me. My mother, she too has chronic pain, and we used to our conversations were just kind of they weren't very they were just kind of blah, and I think I was constantly asking her about the issues instead of just having more of a conversation. So it came to me was I started my mother and I were sharing now when we get on the phone 3 to 5 gratitudes. She'll share hers and I share mine.
Yeah.
So every day we've been doing this for a month now, and we share gratitudes with each other. And what a change of both of us in our conversations. We look forward to the call, and we almost start feeling better as soon as we get on the phone. So what a change.
It's such a great idea. We can do that with our own, moms or dads or family members. We can do it with our children if we have children. It is such a great idea, not because it forces us well, it does force us to look, but it makes it really just more that we're more intuitive to it, not making us like, I'm grateful for the window treatments." It really kind of opens our eyes a bit
Mhm.
more. That's such a great idea.
Yeah, it really I was so I 1, I was surprised that I hadn't thought about it before.
Yeah, me
And
too.
2, just to see the changes in both of us, and you could do it with anybody, whoever it is that you may see that may enjoy it, may perhaps need it, or whatever the case is. It could be anybody, but I was really, I'm so nicely surprised to see what has happened. And it's just by starting to listen about what are we thinking about? What are some ideas that are coming to us that are probably really good ideas? And to see about maybe following through with some of them.
Yeah, I mean, gratitude is contagious, isn't it? And that's why I feel that you and I have hit it off because you just exude gratitude in a very authentic way. You don't just talk the talk, you walk the
Mhm.
walk. And so that's why being friends with you is so easy and makes me feel good. Like I said in the lead, and 3, 4 days a week, I get a message from
Mhm.
you, very first thing in the morning, not looking for anything, just sending me well wishes for the day, and I get up early, so you're up really early, but it's just such a lovely thing, and you just do it so authentically. It's really you're a beautiful soul, Sharon.
Well, thank you so much, and back at you, my mirror. But so, and you made me think about something else. This isn't in the book, but I will share because this too, I think, and you'll relate to this, is what happens when you start doing gratitude. Your heart starts to open up more and more ideas and more things you start to do. You just feel more. I feel more open in the world and reaching out more. So one of the things that I started doing when I did the book, it just came to me is I have what I call a heart-centered connection calendar. And I use it in my big calendar book. And every day I put a heart in it, the person that I reach out to, whether it's text or a message, email, phone, whatever, I put a heart in that person's name in the box of the calendar. I've been doing this now for 4 months. And it's amazing. And it's so cool because when you can look back at the calendar and you see all these names, if you think you haven't connected and you don't have friends and wonderful people in your life, there it is.
What a terrific idea. I love that.
Yeah.
I've been sharing the last couple of months because more and more studies are coming out about the crisis of loneliness that we're experiencing in our society. I believe Time Magazine had an article out about 6 weeks ago, and the health implications that loneliness, it's way more than just a feeling. It really has genuine health risks associated with it. And 1 in 3 people report feeling lonely.
Mhm.
And COVID did not help matters for sure. So I feel very, very strongly about attitude of gratitude with chronic pain because of that sense of connection. But I think sometimes it's just so easy to isolate. If you're not feeling well emotionally, physically, mentally, we often don't want to talk to anybody, and it's so important that we do. That is a great idea, what you just suggested.
Mhm. Yeah, because I mean, and just even you saying that, that's why I love doing it because and by the way, sometimes I've gotten so comfortable with it. I actually reach out sometimes to people that I like what they're doing on Facebook and what they're about. And I will just and you do the same. I think
Yeah,
you do
you're a
the same.
fellow
And
stalker.
but but I will share something that I really appreciate about them and what they're doing. And the amazing thing is a lot of people don't always do that. So they so appreciate it. And I'm also thinking about, and you never know who is in pain, who's hurting, who's all kinds of pain. So just doing that, you have a good chance of really making someone's day shift.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, I'm always a bit surprised when people seem surprised when I do that.
Mhm.
I think you're right that maybe people assume that they know. And I feel very fortunate when you run a gratitude group, you get thanked an awful lot. And I'm so appreciative of that people don't assume, that I have heard it all before, because each comment about, how something made their day or how the group has changed their mindset or their families notice a difference in them, like, that doesn't get old. In 8 years, it just hasn't gotten old. And it helps me to fuel this lovely work that I'm privileged enough to do. And yeah, that's nice thing with running a gratitude group is you do get thanked a lot.
Yeah, no, that's great. And it's the last one we'll do, and then is the cool down. So it's about reflection, just really just a small bit of reflection so we can just really have closure for the day. If it's just breathing, if it's saying a gratitude out loud, not having to write down sometimes if people don't want to, but just having that closure of the day. And so if any of those resonate with any of you, it's really an amazing way. And one thing I'll say too, because I was saying that, I want us to share our secrets and things, the realness about us. And I'm always growing too. I mean, I've been at this for years, but it will always be a learning and growing game. And I'm loving it because
Me
it'll
too.
get deeper, deeper, deeper with the ideas, with what comes up, what you're thinking about. And it's amazing. So we'll never have it figured out. Never.
No. And
Never.
if we're open to that, if we're open to the fact and knowing that we won't have it figured out, we open ourselves up for more beauty and more gratitude. Gratitude feeds and fuels more gratitude. It
Mhm.
really is. It's way more than just a feeling. It's an intention. It's an action. It's a practice, and all of those things. If you decide, I don't think you can just decide to be grateful. I think you can decide that you want to practice gratitude, but we can't just click our fingers and decide, to choose gratitude. We can choose to practice it and work towards feeling it. But it does require regular upkeep and regular exercise, does it not?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, because I would not be the person I am today had I not if I'm not wasn't doing the work, and I wouldn't even certainly be on a show because I'm one that unless I'm working it, I'm doing it, living it, and experiencing it. That's why I'm here doing this all the time is just because of the greatness and you know it too because all that you experience in your life and in your practice
Mhm.
of because of that. That's why we're sharing it with so many people, but we are absolutely, I mean, we're absolutely doing it, and I
Yes,
can't even imagine where I'd be if I wasn't.
I know. Me too. Me too. It's such a privilege, and meeting these wonderful people like IJ McIntyre.
Oh,
Hi, IJ.
IJ.
How you've shifted the energy of the conversations with your
Mm,
mom by sharing gratitudes.
yeah.
Me too. IJ was a guest on the show oh gosh, maybe 6 weeks or so ago, and she is going to be a part of a sort of a roundtable that I'm organizing for World Gratitude Day on September 21st, and Sharon's going to be on there. IJ's going to be on there. Julie Boyer. I love this idea you mentioned, Sharon, about the hearts.
Mhm.
Me too. So stay tuned for more info about that. But it's such a privilege meeting these fellow gratitude spreaders. It really is. Not to mention the wonderful people in my group. Um, Heather Shana Burke says feeling alone is terrible. I agree. I agree. And I think those connections and that heart idea is just brilliant. It doesn't have to be necessarily, meeting in person. It can be
Mhm.
connecting in various ways. Social media, there's a lot of bad about it, but there's also a lot of good.
Yeah, and even you could even use a heart if you've even thought about the person. If they come to your mind, even something like that, you
That's a
know,
good idea.
it really it doesn't have to be in person at all. I mean, very rarely are mine right now because 'cause they're from all over the world and and not in my state. So
Right.
it's just, it's just but when you can just know that you've had that connection, whatever that looks like, it really is powerful.
It is. It feels good. It really feels good because I think we often don't realize how um I was going to say self-centered. That's possibly not the right term I'm looking for, but we get very caught up in ourselves, some very unintentionally. And I think it's not until we do something, like sharing with our mom our gratitudes for the day, or I tend to tell people when I'm at a restaurant, I tell the wait person that they did a great job or they're good at what they do, and that usually brings a great big smile to their face. It feels good. Gratitude just feels good.
Yeah.
Being the giver and the receiver.
That's the greatest thing too,
Right.
isn't it? That yes, that it's both people. It's not just one-sided. It is absolutely both. Yeah.
Right. Right. So, how did you tackle this book? Because it really is, while you've got these components, the wake up, the warm up, the workout, and the cool down, like I mentioned earlier, they are all different. So, how did you go about tackling this book?
The whole concept of it just came to me because again, my fitness background, and I knew I wanted to write a book around gratitude, but also just I kind of naturally, I think, I used to be a fitness trainer, so it naturally, okay, the wake up was new for me because I never felt awake and I never did that, but that was so important for me to include that. But then, of course, the warm up and the workout and the cool down, those were naturals for me. But to be using it in this way, uh,
It's clever.
it's the greatest feeling, and it's my most favorite fitness workout.
It's not only clever, but it really, really works,
Mhm.
because like there's a famous quote, gratitude like faith is a muscle.
Yes,
Um, and I forget what the rest of it is, but it does require a daily workout. So
absolutely.
pairing it with exercise is brilliant. It
Mhm.
really, really works.
Yeah.
Um, I like I like the wake up part, and like you said, because we're often going through with kind of bleary eyes and all of that. But
Mhm.
besides receiving wonderful messages from you in the morning, I have stopped watching the news. I've shared this a few times that about 2 months or so ago, I decided to go on a news fast because I've spent the last couple decades watching the news with my husband first thing in the morning, and there's really rarely anything that feeds my soul. And if that's the way I'm starting my day, and you're a gratitude spreader, that's not the greatest way to start your day. So I watch now YouTube gardening videos. Um, so it really, like you said, social media can be used for really good, positive things in our life.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I can remember back in the day when, you'd read the newspaper and all that. I mean, and
Yeah.
I think it's probably been 10 years at least since I've watched the news or read a newspaper. I mean, I find through my clients and through the internet, I find exactly what I just feel like I find exactly what I need to know about.
Yeah.
It appears, but it appears in a slower level and an amount that I can just manage.
Much. That's a good point. I do get alerts once in a while. So I know if whatever I need to know, I know. I also, and I shared about this in my last book, The Intention Journal, that I tend to turn my notifications off most of the time during the day, or I put them on mute, and I let my family come through, but I I I allow myself to check notifications several points throughout the day versus getting buzzed all day long. Because I realized, one, I'm not that important where I need to be accessible 24/7, but two, all those beeps all day long were really affecting me more than I realized. And there's really, if you do it 4 or 5 times a day, for me, it works a lot better that way than just constant PMs coming in and all that.
Mhm.
I don't know if you found the same thing with notifications.
Well, I don't have a group with 10,000 members, so I don't have that issue.
You have 10,000 friends. Um, and same with text messages. I did the same thing with that. I started that last summer. It's really made a big difference in my life. IJ says, terrific single doable deed to reach out to one person per day and keep track with hearts on your calendar.
Mm.
I agree. And I've shared about this in other episodes, but another idea that I encourage people is find a gratitude buddy and text them once a day. Maybe you find somebody they want to practice gratitude too. Send one thing you're grateful for over text each day. You hold yourself accountable to practice it, and it's just a nifty little trick that can, if you're looking to mix it up, especially, it's a good trick.
I love that, and in this community that with so many people, I love that too,
Yeah.
that you've got people that are open to gratitude and to be able to pair up with people you don't even know. I love that. You
Yeah.
you have a whole opportunity for that here.
Yeah, for sure. Kirsten, hi Kirsten. I think I'm going to have my husband and I share our gratitude every evening. That's a great idea.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's a great idea. I should do the same. Julie says, good for you, Lauren, to stop starting your day with the news. Yes, for sure. I started doing morning pages of writing. It's a good idea. Heidi says, I have a relative that whenever I call, this relative complains. This relative is in assisted living and is bored and lonely and feels like the place is a prison. Would asking this person what this person is grateful for work? Great question.
Yeah, and I think that you say, I'm wanting to do gratitudes. Would you be open to doing them with me?
Right.
Just kind of leave it open ended, and maybe you starting that with the person and just seeing how open they are.
Yeah, that's a
Oh,
great
don't
idea.
have them necessarily do the first one unless they choose to, which
Yeah.
is great. But maybe just see if they're open to it.
Yeah, I mean, if they're open to it, that would be a lovely thing. Maybe it's exactly what they need and they don't even know it. I think that's a great idea. I'm skipping around here. Linda says, I do it with a friend on Messenger every night. Great idea. Um, Christine says, great idea. I need to do that with my mom. I know when you told me about this a couple of weeks ago, and I thought the same thing, that I need to do that with my mom as well. And I completely forgot. So, Mom, if you're watching, and chances are you are, let's start doing this. I'll have to do it with my daughter Riley too. So, what else has been going on for you? I want to talk more about the book, but what you've been working with, the gratitude glasses are really selling a lot. But what are you working on right now? Anything new?
I'm just no, actually, I'm really just enjoying. The book is only 4 months
Yeah.
and has been published, so that is just filling me up so much. Doing it myself, but continuing to learn it and share it with other people. And the classes too. Just oh my gosh, So it was like Christmas and Hanukkah and New Year's all at once at the beginning of this year because with the book and the glasses it's just I'm loving it and I'm loving sharing it out there, meeting people. There's so much greatness to do. I mean, I love it. So for right now, and it's good for me because I used to be a person that I'd go to something else, and thank goodness I am just focused on the glasses, the books,
Yeah.
and just keeping myself where I'm at, with gratitude, that intentional. And I'm sure that something else will come through those moments, when I'm supposed to, but
Well,
enjoying the heck out of it right now, just
good.
doing what I'm doing right now.
And you should. And, there's always new things that pop up when you're doing this work, because not only is our gratitude contagious, but the more we spread it, the more opportunities, come up for us to spread it. And when you're touching somebody's life in this world that can often be very scary and full of pain, it really just feels so good that it makes us, want to spread it more. And when you never know when your words will touch that one person who really needs to hear it on that day.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's so true too. The thing about when you're in gratitude also, just the opportunities that do come, the people that come forward. It's
Yeah.
just, I've been on so many talks, and it's just amazing to, people want to be around you. They do. I mean, not that they don't otherwise, but there's a magnetism that happens because people really, some of them need and want this. And so when we can keep being those people to do that in the world, it's a world changer.
That's such a good point. And that's why I honor my friendship with you, is because you tend to want to be around people who make you feel good.
Mhm.
And so the fact that you really do walk the walk and talk the talk, it feels good to be around somebody who's got such a zest for life and who shares the good stuff. Nobody, well, I shouldn't make this generalization, but I do not love hanging around with people who just stew in their own misery constantly.
Mhm.
We all need to complain and vent and share our pain and walk through it in order to heal. But if they stay stuck there without having any intention of doing anything about it, I don't like hanging out with those people. It
Mhm.
doesn't feel good to me,
Yeah.
you
You
know.
know, that's true, and I two things that I feel has happened. One is I'm not attracting them as much as I used to, but when I do, I have to check in with myself going, "Okay, check
Oh,
in with
good
yourself
point.
because I may be bringing that back to me." But with gratitude too, I'm able to be so much kinder with that. I don't get as frustrated when I'm around somebody like that. I just have more empathy, and I can just, give them a nice something and then move on. Where it just I don't know. It's just there's something different that happens when you're in that gratitude, and in that gratitude place.
Yeah, that's such a good point. That I'm not sure if I had thought of that you don't attract them as much as you used to.
Mhm.
I find that to be true as well, and I'm not sure I ever really thought of that, but I'm finding that too, because misery loves company, as they say, and if I'm not feeding into their misery, and I'm not saying I'm not compassionate and practicing empathy and listening wholeheartedly, but if I'm not helping contribute to that constantly, they don't really want anything to do with me. They want to move on to somebody who will, be a
Mhm.
part of that. That's such a good point. That's such a good point. For those of you who have the gratitude glasses, we should mention this. You have a Facebook group just for people with the glasses, right?
Yes, when you buy the glasses, or if you're gifted a pair of the glasses, I have a private group called "I Wear My Gratitude Glasses," and it's really amazing. People are and Lauren is really great with doing videos, doing pictures. People when they've been traveling around the world and taking the glasses with them and taking pictures. And one of the most amazing things too occurred. One of the people in the group, she went to her friend's funeral, and there she wore the glasses to show her gratitude for a friend. That
Oh,
was
wow.
that was really amazing. That really touched me. I'm like, wow. So it's endless of how you wear them, where you go with them, spreading the message, and it's a wonderful group. I just love having the group so that everybody could come together and just share their stories or their pictures, and just celebrating that and wearing the glasses. Yeah.
How beautiful. That's a wonderful way to celebrate a life of somebody who's passed,
Mhm.
with the gratitude glasses. That's beautiful. So it's called I Wear My Gratitude Glasses, and it's on Facebook. I will put a link in the
And
show
it and
notes.
it's open, it's unfortunate, I mean, not unfortunately, but it's set up that it's for people who have purchased the glasses or have been gifted the glasses, 'cause that's the only requirement of the group. Yeah.
Yeah, and you will want, these glasses. Oh, here's my mom. "I'll be waiting," she says. "Okay, mom, let's do it."
I love it.
Are you collecting gratitude glasses stories, Sharon?
Um, yes. Yeah, yes. Probably am gonna need to start writing them down more because right now they've just been so here in my heart and everything, but yes.
Well,
Good
they're in
point,
the group
Julie.
too. You get a lot in the group as well, don't
Yeah,
you?
but good
Yeah,
point, Julie. I will definitely, that's a really good point.
for
I'm on
sure.
it.
For sure.
Thank you.
So I was sharing with you before the show. Actually, we shared about this early this morning too, because we were looking for new ways we can share our gratitude. And I was listening when I was on my way into New York City yesterday to meet Farhana. I was listening to a podcast, and they were talking about not necessarily gratitude, but they were talking about um, the senses, the five senses. And I was thinking, what a great idea that would be to do that with gratitude. Maybe every day, maybe every other day, but think of things that you are grateful for with touch, sight, sound, touch, smell, taste, um, as a way to mix it up, right? And so you and I thought that maybe that could be fun for not only us to do, but for those of you who are watching. We talked about smell, I think. Like we want to start with smell, right? So share, those of you who are out there, if you want to comment, what is a smell that you are grateful for, either today or just in general. Let me ask you that question, Sharon.
What comes to mind is this one perfume that we got in Isla Capri when we were in Italy. That's one of the. I'm grateful for that smell of that perfume.
What is it called?
I don't know. It's from Isla Capri, and it's
Oh,
an Italian name, but it's it's my favorite. And the cool thing about it is every time I smell it, it takes me right back there. I love when that happens.
I love when that happens too. I'm really big on smells. Like a familiar smell of somebody's home that you love, or even the familiar smell of somebody you're close to and you hug them. I find that people have, their smell, and that can be comforting, like Rob's smell. I love his smell. So that, yeah, those smells can be powerful. Mine right now, those of you who know me in the group know that I'm a bit of an heirloom tomato addict, and I grow a lot of plants in my garden. I love the smell of tomato plants on my hands when I'm pruning or picking tomatoes. There's a very familiar smell to me that brings me to, summers in New Jersey my entire life, and just that anticipation of that juicy love apple in a sandwich, or in a bowl with olive oil and balsamic, which was my lunch today. So that is a smell that right now is I'm very, very grateful for. Kirsten says coffee.
Mm,
Good one. Good
yes.
one. Coffee. Linda. Hey, Linda. Um, Never had a sense of smell, good sense of taste though. We'll share what taste you're grateful for then. IJ says grateful for the aroma of roses in full bloom in neighborhood gardens while out
Ooh,
walking.
yeah.
That's a good one. A good summer rain. I love that smell too.
Mm,
The smell of rain, or yeah, coffee is a good one too. What about taste? What would you say for taste?
hmm. When I think for me, as we talked about it this morning, just starting to notice the awareness of the taste of my foods that I eat. Just when you just said that name, the taste, I just immediately took notice of it more, just to really give notice to what I'm eating and how it does taste.
Such a good point, because we can often not be intentional about our eating, and we shovel food into our mouths without we taste it, but not truly taste it. That's a
Mhm.
that's a great point, to savor, right?
Yeah.
Like Christy Nelson talks about savoring
Mhm.
all the time, and savoring. I think savoring uncertainty is the name of one of the chapters in her book. But say really truly savoring our food, and I've done meditations on that where they really have you. I think it's a raisin meditation now that I'm remembering. Dr. Bruce Singer, who's my mentor, and he was the director of the chronic pain program rehab that I was at for a month. He had us doing a raisin meditation where he had us holding a raisin in between our lips, and just holding it there, and using our tongue to taste it before we actually chew and swallow. And you'll be so surprised at what you can notice when you take time to really savor your food.
Mhm.
Oh, Christine's got a good one. Grateful for the smell of books.
Ooh.
Fantastic. And tiramisu, good tiramisu for sure. Italian homemade macaroni sauce. and fresh taste of homemade lemonade. These are all great. Julie says, I do a meditation for the five senses and gratitude. For smell today, I would say I'm grateful for wet dog smell after they cooled off with the hose.
That's great.
That is a great one. So, what are some other ideas you've been doing for gratitude these days that might be different from the last time we talked?
Oh, let's see. You know, I mean, I shared some of them, and I think that the biggest thing for me is that how just intentional. I mean, my every the most. I mean, I am really living my days full on with noticing gratitude in everything that I do. So, and from that has led to so many connections. You know, my day is. I mean, I remember being more alone, and that's just not happening. You know, right now, it's just my life feels filled, and I balance it out too. I make sure that I take care of me and do that. But I don't know. I think the one thing is I'm so blessed of how I feel, how I'm feeling right now in life, and how fulfilling it feels. And so I think that's what I'm going to say about that. It's just whatever is happening for me, it's really working, and it just feels amazing. You know, just doing the work and just staying in that place of gratitude. Yeah,
Staying present.
that's what really comes to mind as you're saying that.
Do you meditate every day?
You know, I do a short one. Like I don't do. I used to. I do. Well, let me change that. So I do have. I do have it. My best places of meditation are when I'm out walking and running, when I'm in the shower, and when I'm blow drying my hair. Yes. So I would
Mm.
probably get 10 or 15 minutes worth of meditation. Those are my greatest places and ways that I love to do meditation. My mind is clear, and the creativity and the calmness just it's there. Yeah.
I think we talked about this recently because I found in the shower, that's when I came up with the idea for the Women of Gratitude Forum, and I think I texted you right away after thinking of it and like, "What are you doing September 21st?" You're right,
October.
because I'm very present when I'm drying my hair or first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No, it really, thank you for asking about the meditation, but for those of you who really just notice when you're in the shower or when you're out walking, notice how calming because our minds are most of them are slowed down and we just get to really get some great meditation time. So it's not pressuring me into making that time. And there's sometimes I do, I will do the quiet, really sitting down with it. But when I'm walking and in the shower and blow drying my hair, it's great.
Yeah, I think and you bring up such a good point that I think people I post them in the group every day. I post short I call them breath breaks because I think
Mhm,
a lot of people hear meditation and they wanna run the other direction. There's so many different mindfulness does not have to mean meditation.
mhm.
It has to be present in the moment, and gratitude helps us with that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it can take on a lot of different forms. I always post a YouTube video that's about 5 minutes or less, but blow drying our hair, going for a run, in attitude of gratitude with chronic pain twice 2 or 3 times a year, we do a challenge called we call Happy Mail, and it's writing old-fashioned snail mail letters to somebody you're paired up with. When you're writing a letter to somebody, you are thinking fully about that person.
Mhm,
And there's a lot of studies, as you know, about writing gratitude letters to people. You're not, your mind can't really wander when you are writing a letter to somebody. And then
mhm,
when you receive a letter, you feel so important and mindful and knowing that that person thought about nothing but you to write that.
mhm. Yeah.
It's a
So,
beautiful thing.
yes, and I also wanna go back to because thank you, because of your group and the meditations, I am doing quite a few of those. I really like and I like that they're short. And so, yes, so I am really enjoying the meditations that you're posting.
Good.
There's some great ones. Yeah, I forgot about that, but yes, I have been doing them.
And sometimes they're simple somebody is saying to breathe in and
Yeah,
breathe out for
yeah.
like 2 minutes, but
Mhm.
sometimes I find that's all I need, because I can go through the day and my shoulders will be hunched and my jaw is clenched and I don't even realize I'm doing it and I'm not taking intentional breaths. But gratitude and mindfulness are such a perfect marriage together.
Mhm.
Gratitude, when you are trying to think of things that you're grateful for, you're being very present, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got some other. Jill Cook says, should post more of my unusual places. Remember when the delivery truck parked me in, or a passenger at a red light? That's a good one, Jill. I think you've shared that with me before, and that's a good one that I forgot about. Really great. We have a couple minutes. I haven't mentioned it in a little bit, so I want to make sure you guys all get it in to win a copy of Sharon's new book, Gratisize 365, 4 Steps to Exercising Gratitude Daily. It is a beautiful, rich with gratitude book. Just type hashtag gratitude in the comments, and we will do a drawing in just a couple minutes. So make sure you get that in. You have on your website, which is Gratisize 365. I haven't looked at this part in a bit, but you did a summit yourself a couple of years back,
Mhm.
didn't you?
Yes, back in 19, let's see, 2018 and 19, we interviewed the 2 years. We have a total of 33 different people
Yeah,
who were in that summit. And so it's free and available on the website of doctors. Christy Nelson was there. So many amazing, amazing people are in that
really
summit.
is.
So, and it's available to anybody to go look in all types of topics and all about gratitude, but just different ways in which that they can see gratitude from so many different angles. It's wonderful.
Yeah, again, it is wonderful. And like you said, it's free. So make sure you go on Sharon's website, gratisize365.com. And yeah, like you said, Christine Nelson, there's all sorts of gratitude spreaders. And, you never know when you're going to get that juicy nugget of wisdom and hope and healing that you need to hear. And you've got some really amazing um, speakers on there. So it's really wonderful that you offer that. Um, you have this book. With the next couple minutes you have 2 other books.
Yes, I have the 28-day gratitude workout, and that's on the website as well. And then Thursday's note,
Well,
writing
tell us.
thank you notes every Thursday for 52 weeks. And then the 28-day gratitude workout, 28 days, different exercise every single day on that.
And you have some really like a special story behind.
Oh, yes, the Thursday's note, it
Yeah.
was written for 4 of my clients and dear friends who were in their 90s and 100s, and, they always used to write me thank you notes. So, after I wrote the first book, I thought it just came to me that I wanna keep this whole tradition alive and well for that generation. So, I came up with 52 reasons every Thursdays to write a thank you note, and I dedicated the book, to them. And what's interesting, you're saying that. So, today in Facebook memory came up with a picture of one of the women who she has since passed, but she would lived to 100, and she and I were in this picture on Facebook as a memory. And it jogged my mind to say, I need to call another one, the last living one, who is 95 years old, Lillian, and I called her today. That was one of my gratitude reps too. Yeah, I
Oh,
called her and
great.
talked to her today. We try and stay in touch as at least once or twice a month at least. Yeah.
I bet she just was tickled that you did that.
And that's where, again, where it goes both ways. I mean, it just made my day too.
Yep, it did. I love that. I love that idea. You always have some nuggets of wisdom for us, Sharon. It's such great ideas on expressing and sharing gratitude. So before we do our drawing, you can go on her website, get a pair of these great
Let me get on.
sunglasses.
Yes. They look good on everyone.
They do. They really do. I love them. I love them. So you can find this on Amazon and on her website, which is gratisize365.com. You can find access to she's got a Facebook group, Gratisize365. The summit, the talks that we were just talking about, as well as your wonderful books. I love this book, Sharon. It
Mm,
really, I know I reviewed it when it first came out. I meant every word. This is a wonderful, wonderful book with write a gratitude note to someone you want to forgive. It's right at the top of page 201. I mean, these are really wonderful tips to help keep it fresh for us. It's really a fantastic book.
Thank you.
So let's give one away, shall we?
Yeah.
Let's see. Am I missing any comments here? Heather Shana Burke. Thank you both very much for today. Much appreciated. Thank you for watching. All right, let's see if we can get this giveaway tool to work today. Hang on. Because it could go either way. It could work or it could not, knowing me. Share screen. All right, we got it. All right, good luck, everybody. I love this giveaway tool. When it works, it's really great.
All right. I love that.
Yay, Julie. See, you come out of your social media fast and you win a prize. That is awesome. Congrats, Julie. Make sure you get you a copy. It's so nice to hear from you. And for those of you who are watching live and the replay, but those of you who watch live, I was telling Sharon before the episode, I love the energy and the real genuine healing and hope that the live audience brings. I also recognize that an hour is a very long time. So thank you so much for watching and contributing your hearts and your trust today and every time that you watch. I appreciate it. So Sharon, thank you for being here. I already want to have you back again, so we'll have to make sure we book that. But you really are just not only a dear friend, but you are a gift to those of you who are fortunate enough to have you touch their lives. You really are.
Well, thank you. Thank you for being in my life as well and your community. I love what you've created here, and just it's a gift to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. So thank you everybody for watching, and for those of you watching the replay, you can find out more. And I never do this. You can find out more about me at gratitudeaddict.com if you'd like to find out more about the group. And my YouTube channel with my new vlog and some, oops, that's not right. There we go, gratitudeaddict.com. You can find out more about my work on there. So I will see you, gang, next time. See you next week. Peace and love. Thank you, Sharon, for being here.
Thank you.
Bye, gang.